We're in the dark right now, but check it out. Look, this may not be a long, super long video live, but this video is gonna be a short one. Hopefully you can hear me over the. I'm gonna talk a little bit closer to the mic because hopefully you can hear me. The washer is on. Hopefully it doesn't disturb my message being put across. But check it out, right? So, star beings and galactic beings is what this live is about. And in this brief live, I'm gonna break down is first of all you have to understand this, right? Already, right, right off the bat, we already all of us are stars. We are all smaller versions of stars. Um, and this is why whenever a person becomes a celebrity, they name them, title them a star, because they're the one accessing star energy the most. So we're gonna get down to what a star is and how we're stars, right? Let me see. I'm gonna turn the light for 2 seconds. See how it. So when you talk about the concepts of stars, right? One thing you realize is this: when you think about the concept of stars, what does a star do, right? Or let's say, from an astronomical point of view or a scientific point of view, what they tell us. What is? Oh, my Wi-Fi kind of went out. Hopefully, you can still hear me. But the main thing stars do, stars give off what? They give off energy. They give off light. So we as human beings, we do the exact same thing. We are still on the training level to develop our inner beings. Our inner energy to become a star. Everything is life within life. The same way, like I mentioned in my previous live, my previous video. The same way how we are beings and we have living life organism cells within us, literal living beings, white cells, blood cells, red cells, brown cells, bacteria, microorganisms, antibodies, good bacteria, bad bacteria. This is the same thing. The same thing as we are living inside of this planet we call Earth. We're cells. Then you have other cells like bears, tigers, lions. You have the smaller ones like the ants. You know what I'm saying? Each cell, even in the human body, lives a different uh, level of life, like a different length of life. So I think ants only live a certain period of time that's way shorter than humans. Humans live longer, and then certain other things live longer than us. So it's all a big process. But basically, what I'm breaking down is this, right? Everything is life within life. So there's smaller life, there's larger life in the upgoing scale. Um, you look at us, like I broke it down us with the cells inside of us. We're a living organism. Then you look at, let's take a step out of that. Let's look at an oversoul, a fourth dimensional being. Let's look at let's say like a city, because there's a spirit that rules over that city, that governs that city, and everybody that lives in that city are the living organism cells inside that city. This is why they call it an oversoul, because the oversoul is over souls, aka it has to have a certain amount of souls in it for it to be an oversoul, because that's how it needs energy. Same way we need more life. Every time we eat nutrients and food and vitamins and minerals, that's just another form of life that we're putting inside of us for us to work properly. And the more life we put into it, the better our health is, the better we are. You know what I'm saying? That the more healthier stuff you eat, the healthier you are in general, the more life, the more energy you got inside of you, the better you feel in general, right? And it's the same thing that Oversoul is doing on a higher level. They're just a level above us. So let's use, like, let's say a city I like, let's say Los Angeles, right? There's an actual spirit of Oversoul over Los Angeles, and the people, places, and things in Los Angeles, and the energy that people have there, the most prominent energy there, and the way that people go about themselves in Los Angeles, that's the way that that Oversoul, aka the spirit that's over Los Angeles, likes to do things. So if you come into that Los Angeles and you're very foreign, you may be, and you're very foreign, you do things differently than people typically do in Los Angeles, or what's the norm for them, right? You're gonna be looked at as weird and oddball, a lame. You see what I'm saying? A cornball. They're gonna be like, oh, he's lame, this, that, and the third. And that's only because that spirit over Los Angeles doesn't resonate with you, or better, you could say you don't resonate with it. So you're coming into that space, aka that being, with different ideas, thoughts, and feelings and ways of living life than it likes to do. So you get pushed out. That's the same way with, like, say you get a cold or a sickness. It's the same way you can break it down. Say you get a cold or sickness. That's bacteria coming into you that aren't good for you. You see what I'm saying? So it flushes out. Your body does the best it can do, even subconsciously, to flush this out. You know, you ate something bad, tries to flush that out. Even on, let's say, a lighter level, even when it comes to nutrients, let's not use good or bad, because bad bacteria is, like, 9 times out of 10 can be bad for everybody, right? So let's use something on a higher low level. Let's say with different foods. No food is good or bad, depends on what the person needs. So a person may eat too much beets or whatever minerals is in beets, they already have enough of them in there. So if they overdo it with beats, those are like foreign entities that's gonna hurt it because it's overwhelming it. It don't need no more beats. It's good. So that's like something that the body don't need. It'll push it out. The same way when you talk about an oversoul, aka like let's say a city, or you could say a state, possibly a country. You know what I'm saying? It's life within life. A country is a bigger version of a state. A state is a bigger version of a city. There are literally spirits, oversouls that reside over all these things. There's a spirit over there's a oversoul that governs or is a spirit over Florida, and that has a certain energy signature. There's a spirit over California that has a certain energy signature. You see what I'm saying? There's a spirit over particular cities like Miami. There's a certain energy signature, a certain oversoul or spirit that reigns or governs or rules over Miami. So if you come into Miami acting different than the norm or the ways of Miami, the way what's normal to people in Miami, you're gonna be looked at as weird or an oddball, and you're gonna be pushed out in a certain way, or people gonna make you look like you don't belong here, type stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Now, the more powerful you are, the more you have your own orb, and the more it don't matter, and you could be an influence to them. But that's a different video, right? We're gonna get into that one day, but let's take it a step higher than just the oversoul, right? What's above an oversoul? Which all these things are just bigger versions of this. Like the same way you're still a star. You may not be a literal sun, because a star is a sun in the higher realm. Like the sun, our sun, that's a star. Suns are stars, stars are suns, right? We may not be fully into those vessels yet, but we still are a smaller version of those things. The same way an oversoul is a smaller version of that thing. So above an oversoul, let's say fifth dimension, let's talk planet, right? Planetary energy. A planet is just a bigger oversoul, but it's much bigger. Look at planet Earth. So it doesn't expand it so much. It has even more energy, more life, more people, more beings, more places, more things inside of it. You see what I'm saying? It's more of a source. And then you take a level above that. Before I even go into that one, hold on. And then you got different planets that are bigger in size. You got certain small planets. You got certain bigger planets. So everything is just relative. You think Earth is big, but smaller. You got certain planets that are extremely greater and broader. It went out again. But anyway, hold on. I don't know if you can hear me. I don't know if you can hear me. It kind of went out. But anyway, shit, I forgot what I was gonna say. But anyway, yeah. So basically, I'm gonna cut this short. But when you get to a step above the planet, right, you have a star or a sun-like being. Now I'm to the chase. I'm gonna try to get this out of the way. This is what I really want to say. What I really was gonna say was this: in order to be a star being, I'm gonna give it to you straight to raw. I'm not gonna do no more explaining like that in an informative, informational way. I'm gonna say it like this: if you can't get your energy right, if you can't get your inner world right, if you can't master your own internal energy and build energy to become your own source, you're not gonna make it to be a star in the sun. Because in order to be a sun being in that sixth dimension, that's a being who mastered who became its own source. You see what I'm saying? And that's why it pushes off so much light. So when you see brightness coming off, that's light, that's internal energy, that's source, that's internal light. So if you ain't got enough life down here to manifest what you want to experience, if you don't got enough energy down here, say you feel like ish, or you don't feel good, or you feel low energy, you don't feel like you have the power to manifest this, that, and the third, you feel weak, you can't get, it's hard for you to get your 1-2, you can't build no energy, no source here, you're not gonna make it to be a star or a sunlight being, because that's a different type of realm. And in that realm, you have to have mastered your internal energies. You have to become your own source. You can't be weak in that realm or lacking internal energy in that realm. And you definitely, like I say, you have a sun, you have a star, and then a level above that, you have a solar system like being. That's even more energy you have to build. That's even more accumulation, more expansion. You see what I'm saying? More star. And then if you can't build energy, you definitely never gonna make it to a galactic type being, because by the time you make it to that, it takes so many years and eons to get there through experience and learning and internal work. And everybody is different. The more a person puts into their internal nature, or the actual conscious effort to expand or ascend, or to have some type of internal, the faster they can make it to a galactic being. That's like an eighth dimensional being. That's a whole different realm as a whole. We right now in the 1, 2, and third dimension. This is realm as a whole. You want the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension? Oh, that's one realm as a whole. That's not even this realm. You definitely not gonna make it to the seventh, eighth, and ninth dimension without gaining a certain amount of source. You see what I'm saying? That's galactic being, like an eighth dimensional being, right? A being. Think about when you look at let's say a picture of a galaxy, right? Even though all these photos are not always 100% accurate, but if you take like you look of a galaxy, a picture of a galaxy, you see all this light, you see all these stars, all this light. It's all this light, this internal energy that a mass of being like a galaxy, that's the actual being that is expanded so great, aka ascended, expanded is the same thing, just wordplay. That is made it big enough, extended high enough to take that type of vessel. You see what I'm saying? And you see how much energy it produces on levels you couldn't even gauge, levels you couldn't even understand. Produces and pushes out so much energy you couldn't even understand. You see what I'm saying? So it get deep. Then you have a step above that would be like a ninth dimension. That would be like a verse. Or AK when you think of a universe, there's like so you talk about the multiverse universe. A verse is just a ninth dimensional being. That's what people point to as God and all that stuff like that. But it get deep, you know what I'm saying? But it's just like you just have to understand this life within life, and energy is almost every. I ain't energy is everything, but you need energy in a certain level of enlightenment to ascend or expand out of the current realm that you're in, if that's what you're trying to do. If you want to reincarnate here, you can. You can reincarnate here as much as you want. Eventually, the more you reincarnate, eventually you're gonna get too big. Your spirit's gonna grow so much learning, so much expansion, so much experience. Each experience you have is an expansion. You become too great. You become too broad. You can't take a 3D vessel of a human anymore. So you become too great. You have to take like an oversoul or a planetary being, depending on how much you're expanding, how much you're ascended. You have to take a bigger vessel and being because you became too big. You can't take a small human vessel no more. You see what I'm saying? But yeah, man, it just get deep, and you have to understand that energy may not be everything, but it's extremely important. It's damn near close to it. You see what I'm saying? And I got another video I'm gonna try to see if I can catch up with you tomorrow with, let people inform on some other things. I think I'm gonna talk about where spirits are born. We're gonna get into that I think probably tomorrow. Yeah, but I'm gonna definitely have that on the list, have that ready to go. And that was because that's gonna be a good one. Try to go into depth about that and make it as fun as possible. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I appreciate everybody who joined the live, everybody that paid attention to the live. If you have any questions, if you have anything that you want me to do, or speak about, or answer any questions that you guys got, just let me know. And you know what I'm saying? I got you.